One of the big kind of game changer events that's going to be happening here in the region is the construction of the Bailey's mountain bike trail system, which is going to be 88 miles of continuous trail system here in the Wayne National Forest. It's going to be a destination for a lot of mountain bikers in the country and around the world. And as that grows over time, those trail visitors are going to be looking for goods and services that a lot of our communities are in a really good position to provide. But the real key to getting that economic opportunity to provide the most is to get them to stay for a night or two. And that's where helping people in the area understand how to be lodging hosts can really help us capture the best of what this trail system has to offer. Recently, we were able to offer the Rural Airbnb Training Workshop through Rural Action in Denton County with the MacArthur community. That workshop helps people to understand how to use the Airbnb listing platform, helps them understand how to deal with things unique to the rural area, such as poor cell phone service, GPS that can't find your place, so you have to give different directions, different policies that you want to put in place for visitors, and also how to really take advantage of the fact that we are in a rural area and that is attractive to people.
I was watching Google videos on building things, and I was telling I think I can build a cabin. I can do this. Our idea was to do it, to give it to family. But then as the process started happening, our vision changed. I mean, the ideal changed, and we didn't have anybody really to move into it, so we decided on Airbnb. But the workshop helped us to feel more comfortable in getting our site up and running.
The majority of the people that have stood at our location are seeking out going to Hocking Hills. We advertise that we're about 40 miles from there, and I think they find it appealing enough that they can afford to stay here and make that drive and get to the places they want to go. Then they find places like Raccoon Creek or other places around here, Lake Snowden and so on, that they find appealing as well. So more things of that nature around here, I think will just invite more people here.
The workshop that we had in Denton County, and out of those 25, 2 went ahead within a few weeks to list their properties and immediately began to book up.
It was like every other day we were getting bookings, and that was so exciting. It's been a big part of our income. I mean, it's been an income booster, obviously, to us. We couldn't do it full time because of our jobs, but maybe in 5 or so years, who knows?
Yep. Yep.
Morgan County has a really good 4-H program. I got involved in 4-H because I really liked animals and I wanted to show them at the fair. So I was showing cows and I was showing goats, and I also really liked 4-H camp. I went every year, starting when I started 4-H camp when I was 9, and I went every year until I was old enough to be a counselor, and at 14 it was my first year as a counselor.
So the first time I worked with Kylie there, she was a camp counselor, and I must have led a hike for her and her campers. But the next year I came back, and I vividly remember Kylie and her buddy Miranda had a pile of nature items for me. I remember that because I think it was the first time where I kind of watched the transformation of normal kids into fellow nature nerds. And to feel like I had something to do with that was very gratifying.
Because it was really cool to have someone that knew all of this stuff, and it's what got me really interested in the natural resources field, and Miranda as well, and it was a really big influence on me and the direction that I took my education. So this year was my first Watershed camp. We went on field trips all over the county. We went hiking, we went creeking, and we just had a ton of fun, and we spent the whole week outside. And it was really great for me because I feel like I came full circle from being the kid that was learning about the environment to being the adult that's there to teach these kids and answer their questions. and get them interested in bugs and fish and plants and water. And it was a really, really great experience, and I can't wait for next year.
You know, the only reason why we're able to make our programs better and bigger is because of consistent support from foundations, from our members, from various sources. And I think that is one thing that makes our program exceptional. I think one reason that our team works so hard is because there could always be a Kylie in any class that is going to really, become passionate about the environmental issues, and go on to study it in college, engage in it professionally. And we really need partnership with kids on solving environmental problems.
I grew up on a small diversified family farm in Northeast Ohio in the 1940s and 50s. And then in the 60s, I raised my family on another farm nearby. And unfortunately, both of those farms went down because of the economics. And it's been really hard to do intentional family farming since then. When we talked about the possibility of an Ag Impact Fund that would help with 0% loans for farmers to help them buy some equipment that they need to just perhaps go to the next level, or even just perhaps to start their farm. I thought, that's what I want to do. I always wanted to get back into farming, knew it would never happen, but I want to help someone else.
Pastured Providence started in August of 2013. I was not a farmer by trade or profession. I was actually an active duty Air Force pilot. I flew airplanes for a living for 12 years. I really have a heart for animal husbandry and caretaking of the land and of animals. I love that idea, but I always thought that it would be sort of a routine, if you will, cow-calf operation. It was really the impending birth of my firstborn, Caleb, that changed my mind about that. I began, as a soon-to-be dad, I began to explore and ask questions about things that you would never ever expect to ask questions about, one of which was food. I raise now 100% grass-fed and finished beef and lamb, as well as pastured non-GMO pork, poultry, and eggs.
It is so hard for a small business in farming especially to approach a traditional bank or lender and say, I need $10,000 or I need even $1,000 to get a piece of equipment that a lender might not know what that even is. But with working with us and with Kiva, it's definitely a platform where the farmer and their expertise and their knowledge is valued, and we understand those needs and can help pair them up with financing from both us but also others who believe in the mission of their businesses.
For the piece of equipment I bought with the Kiva loan, the loan was for $10,000, and that almost covered the full cost of the machine, which is a bale wrapper. It essentially takes a high moisture round bale and then wraps it in plastic in order to exclude air from that, and that preserves the bale. And actually, if it's high enough moisture, it allows it to ferment, which prevents waste from the normal dry bale stored outside. As we begin to deal with more volatile climate conditions, normally you need a 4-day window for hay. You cut and it dries multiple days, and then you finally bale on that 4th day, maybe the 3rd day, depending on how hot it is. But for me, I could literally cut hay one day and bale the next.
The Impact Fund is really perfectly fit for rural action because we're working with so many businesses directly, whether they're directly in farming or food production in some way. We're interfacing with hundreds of these types of businesses every year, and there are businesses who are ready to get financing and scale up and create employment opportunities and better our community. As businesses pay off their loans, as they succeed, that money is going to other farmers and food producers, and there's not an end in sight for that money.
Because of Rural Action's efforts and because of the success of the loan, This wrapper has allowed me to secure 40 days of feed for my animals this winter. It's amazing.
I wanted to give to Rural Action particularly because I really, really believed in their programs. All the many, many things that Rural Action was doing to support rural life, not just farming, but markets, businesses, the environment, so many things that all go together to make a good rural life. I've always believed that every little bit counts, and if anyone is looking for a place to donate something that will really do good in the community and beyond, this is a good place to look at.